I've accepted the offer of a 2-year contract to stay at Wycombe Wanderers. It's public knowledge that I was approached by Nottingham Forest and I was flattered that they came to me. Forest is a great club and I regard it as a big compliment that they considered me good enough to take over from a manager as successful as Brian Clough. However, I have started a job at Wycombe which I'd love to finish. There's enormous potential here and I'm excited at the thought of taking this club as far as we can go. I have a great affection for Forest, very much. Especially the fans, but I honestly couldn't leave Wycombe at such an important and really exciting time as this. I would genuinely love to see Forest go right back to the top, and I have this silly little dream that I'd love to see us join.
The perfect end to a perfect season, with the man who'd steered Wycombe Wanderers to an historic place in the Football League and to trophy success at Wembley, turning down Nottingham Forest to continue the job at Adams Park. What a beautiful day for club and community.
What a beautiful day to be alive. I can feel the wind is gonna change. The wind is gonna change. This time, it all comes true. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day to let it ride. It's in my heart, within my soul. I've got to take a chance again. It's the only thing that makes the world go round. The loser has got to win. Living in a world of dreams, just waiting for a change. If everybody wants to come along, I see the way. What a beautiful day it is to be alive. I can feel the wind is gonna change. This time, it all comes true. What a beautiful day to let it ride.
In its 109-year history, Wycombe Wanderers have celebrated some marvellous moments, but none, surely, to compare with events of the 1992-93 season. This is the story of that season, when Martin O'Neill stayed, but Wycombe moved on.
As Guppy comes forward. This is a great run by Guppy. Oh, that's superb!
Wycombe Wanderers on their way to rewriting the record books by virtually clinching the GM Vauxhall Conference title. It's Thursday, April the 15th, and still more than 2 weeks of the 1992-93 season left. But already, the fans and the players could start celebrating promotion to the Football League. After more than 100 years, the town could boast that they were about to get in amongst the big boys. For the players and fans, it was a unique evening, and for the manager and the chairman, a very special moment to savour.
The most marvellous night in the history of Wycombe Wanderers. 104 years, they've never been in the Football League, and here we are on a night in April, and we are now going in the Football League. An absolutely marvellous, marvellous evening.
You get credit for a lot of things that you don't do, and remarkably you get plenty of stick for things that you don't do either. But in the last, 25 years, that management has seemed to have played, I feel, an unbelievably important part. Over-important, really, in that aspect. It's been overemphasised in the last 25 years because the game's always about players. But while
it remains a game where you can get booted out for 3 or 4 successive defeats, then I've got to say to you, I'm taking all the credit for this, you know, even though it was the players that did it.
Wycombe belong in the Football League, number one. We're now established that we're going into the Football League. We should make sure that our presence in the Football League is there to stay, and we must do the best that's possible. When we were in the non-league GM Vauxhall Conference, we set out our stall to go in the Football League. Now we're in the Football League, we must set out our stall to do, if you like, the same as Wimbledon, except that we've got our own ground to do it in.
And that ground at Adams Park was buzzing 2 weeks later as the fans turned up to celebrate again at the final league match of the season. Exactly 12 months before, there was to be disappointment, with Colchester pipping Wycombe to the title on mere goal difference. This time, the carnival atmosphere could not be affected by anyone else. The title was already secured, and in the end, it was to be by a record 15 points, almost twice the previous best-ever margin. The Blues had scored 84 goals and lost only 7 of their 42 league games. The band played, treasured autographs were collected, Keith Scott picked up his Player of the Year award. And as the final whistle went, the moment that everyone had waited so long for and worked so hard to achieve. Amongst a sea of light and dark blue, Wycombe's players, management, officials and fans united in celebration, and rightly so. That coveted place amongst football's elite was theirs at last. And at the same time, everyone could look back on some other great moments to savour in what was a truly historic season. The Wanderers had played in 2 memorable FA Cup ties with West Brom, beaten Colchester in the Championship Shield, and got through to the final of the Drinkwise Cup. And all of these great moments are recorded elsewhere. Yet there was still one more target on the horizon, the FA Trophy. Could Wycombe go back to Wembley, scene of their glorious triumph just 2 seasons before, and be number 1 in League and Cup? Wycombe's bid for Cup glory began in January. Even at that early stage, the bookies had already installed them as firm favourites to lift the trophy. Nearly 4,000 fans turned up at Adams Park, the largest ever first-round attendance in the competition's history, expecting to see them crush Cheltenham Town. They weren't to be disappointed. Dave Carroll showed the way after just 2 minutes. A clever free kick from Steve Thompson, headed back by Andy Kerr, put in Keith Scott for his 19th goal of the season just 6 minutes later. Cheltenham rallied briefly with a fine goal from Jason Eaton. But Andy Kerr finished them off before half-time, and 3-1 the final score.
Cheltenham goal is probably my favourite goal of the season that I've scored anyway, out of the 8 I've scored, because I don't score many volleys, and I remember the cross coming over and their defender tried to head it away and I was hanging around the back post and I struck it as sweet as I've ever struck a ball in my life, and it just went in the far corner. So as much as it being the best goal I've scored, it was important as well, obviously, because we won that round.
Unhappily, this match turned out to be skipper Glyn Creaser's final appearance of the season, an accident at work putting paid to his hopes.
It was a big blow because Crease, you know, apart from obviously being the club captain, etc., there's just something about him when he's on the field. You know, if things aren't going too well, everybody seems to look towards him, and he's the one who gets everybody going. So, you know, it was a very big blow from that point of view, but we had to get on with it, and I thought we did reasonably well.
Although stunned by the news of Creaser's long-term absence, Wycombe led through a Keith Scott goal until just 3 minutes from the end of their second-round tie at Morecambe. Over 2,000 watched the HFS League leaders grab a late equaliser, and more than double that crowd turned up at Adams Park for the replay 3 days later. Wycombe made no mistake this time.
Carroll it is to take it. Guppy's waiting there. The big men are in the middle. West made the run! It's there! And Andy Kerr it is! Who has made the breakthrough? Crossley's throw on by Scott. Stapleton. Scott again, bearing down here. He's done it!
2-0 the final score, and Wycombe through to the last 8 for the 3rd season in a row.
Playing at Morecambe at their place was difficult anyway, but to Burke 1-0 up because they really pressurised us first half at our place, because they're a good side, and it was just a relief really, and it was just so close to half-time as well. It's just the euphoria took hold of me, and that was it.
And the dance, is that caught on?
Not quite. I think that it's just one of those spontaneous things that doesn't happen very often. I don't score that many goals.
The 3rd round draw brought good news and bad. Another home tie, but against powerful opposition in Bromsgrove, who are lying a comfortable 5th in the conference. The Blues' army of fans, just under 5,000 of them, were baying for a first-half penalty, but Simon Stapleton kept on running and scored to stop any dispute.
I actually thought it was a penalty, but it didn't seem to be. But I kept on running, ball ran loose and dumped it in. Great relief to score because I hadn't scored for ages, and I think after that it put us in quite a commanding position, and I think Scotty got the next one a penalty, which yeah, delightful.
I went through the first goal. To be honest with you, I just lined myself up for this shot, and to be fair, I kicked the ground, and the guy at the same time's come through and tackled me. But again, fortunately, the ball has broken a position where Stapes has been following up all year, and he's put it in. The referee actually did say that, you know, if we wouldn't have been in a position to play on, he would have given a penalty. Whether it was a penalty or not, God only knows. But the second one was definitely not a penalty. I've gone through, the goalie's come out, I've decided I'm going to go round him, and then I've just kicked the ball, you know, too far, and I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll fall over. And when I fell over, I was just facing the crowd. I felt really embarrassed. And then the next thing I know, we just got a big cheer, and I thought, my word, we've got a penalty here. And Ron Green, I know him quite well, and he wasn't a happy man actually, but it's football really.
Well, Keith Scott scored a penalty in the dying seconds of an FA Trophy semi-final to send Wycombe through to glory at Wembley. And he now has the opportunity to put Wycombe into the quarter-finals of this season's competition. Keith Scott against Ron Green. He scored! It's 2-0.
Wycombe's top marksman keeping up his record of scoring in every round, and Wycombe through 2-0. Paul Hyde, incidentally, keeping his 16th clean sheet of the season at the other end.
Hardy's had a very good season again. He's had a bit, you know, some of the part of the crowd have maybe given him a bit of abuse, which I don't think he deserves. The unfortunate thing of being the last line of attack is if you make a mistake, it's a goal. But I think Hardy's had a very good season, and he's saved us a lot this year as well.
Wycombe's luck in the trophy continued, being drawn at home again in the quarter-final. Conference rivals Gateshead, the visitors, which pitted Martin O'Neill against a former Northern Ireland teammate, Tommy Cassidy.
It was a hard game for us because we were having that old dodgy period in the league. Things were very hard. The team was riddled with injury at that time, and Cassidy had come down and done his homework. And in fairness, they played very well on the day. Again, they definitely deserved to draw. They definitely deserved to take the game back to Gateshead. But Stevie Guppy single-handedly decided that he was not travelling up to Gateshead on the Wednesday night. He didn't like flying, and he scored the goal in about the 93rd minute.
But now here's Scott. He's got Guppy up. Still Guppy. He's done it! Steve Guppy has done it for Wycombe!
They haven't been playing well as a team. I think everyone concedes that, and it just came through to me. And I mean, it's like just hitting hope really. It was I kept it low. That's the only thing you can do, and luckily it squeezed past the keeper.
10 days later, the Wanderers put a halt to Slough's title pretensions. A crowd of 7,230 crammed in to see Keith Scott's 27th minute winner, with a further 2,000 fans locked outside. But the Blues suffered a real blow when key midfielder Simon Stapleton was carried off, seemingly putting an end to his hopes for the whole season.
Obviously very down to miss out on everything, having been a part of everything all throughout the season, and then to be told that you're going to not take any more part of it for the rest. It seemed very disappointing on a personal level, but you can only look forward, and I've got my head down and done my work with Jonah, the physio. And now it does seem as though there's still a possibility that I can still take some sort of part of it. So yeah, on that note, hopefully it can end on certainly a pleasing note for Wycombe, and hopefully a pleasing note for myself personally.
The trophy's semi-final draw kept Wycombe away from the remaining conference teams. Sutton United of the Deodora League, their opponents, over 2 legs. Managed by former Blues boss Alan Gain, United were clear underdogs, but they hadn't come to lay down in front of 5,600 fans.
And it's there, and Sutton have done it. And Peter Byrne is the man who has given Sutton United the lead. And the underdogs are ahead. And Guppy spots it up once more. Carroll's there for the short ball if he needs him. Oh, it's gone in! It's 1-1. And for the second time this season, Steve Guppy has scored from a corner kick. Brown, a nice little touch for Golly. It's found Brown again. Danger here. Quayle has scored another goal for Sutton, and they're back in front. And Guppy tackling back and doing very well indeed. Aylott. Oh, lovely touch. Carroll's arriving in the middle. Can Guppy get the cross in? He can. West is there! Off the post! But Carroll has scored the goal! Oh, Vixhouse lost it. Feltham now. He's got Quayle in the middle. He's found Brown. And Brown has scored a goal! And Sutton are back in front. And the celebrations come in now.
For the second leg at Gander Green Lane a week later, Wycombe were able to recall key players Crossley and Scott, and Martin O'Neill was optimistic that they could still get through.
After the Tuesday night when we had played a league encounter, all eyes completely tuned into the match, and we focused brilliantly in the game. And if you had said to me at 10 minutes to 3 on the Sutton second away leg what we were going to do, there's no doubt in my mind that we would have been at Wembley. I've never seen the lads so psyched up for a game, and we went out and we won it convincingly.
Another corner to Wycombe. There it is though! And Matt Crossley has done it! His first goal of the season! And what a moment to score it! Casey's in the middle! Scott's there! And Keith Scott has done it! And Wycombe are in front for the first time in this tie. 2 minutes into the second half. Dave Carroll with the corner. It's there! It's 3-0! Crossley, I think, is getting the celebrations, and that may well be the goal that sends Wycombe Wanderers back to Wembley. And Mark West is coming on. And was there ever a more popular substitution? The two heroes of 91 exchanging places. Keith Scott has done his job and scored a critical goal, and now it's the man who scored so many important goals in the cup run of 91 who takes his place in the lineup. And West could be into action instantly. Here's Casey. Now West, that's a good ball too, and Mark West and Dave Carroll can celebrate. West is only on the field a minute, and he sets up the fourth goal. Dave Carroll is the man who scores it. And Wycombe now, without a shadow of a doubt, are going to Wembley. the whistle, and Wycombe Wanderers have made it to Wembley. Andy Kerr onto the field. Dennis Green's there too to join the celebrations. Martin O'Neill embraced by the supporters. What a moment! There he is. The man from Kilray, who has been like a Pied Piper for Wycombe since he joined in 1990.
Matty had come back from injury problems. He had not been feeling well. He had lost a bit of stone and weight. He had played half a game on the Wednesday night before the first leg. I didn't feel like risking him. You know, it was a risk. He had lost a complete stone and weight. But he had time to recuperate. It was an extra 7 days. He had played a little bit in between. And he came up trumps for us. You know, terrific.
Martin said to me a couple of weeks before that I'd never ever get a goal for him because of the way I go up for corners, and I said, told him to bide his time and I'll get an important one for him one day, and I got a couple of important ones for him, and for the club as well.
And they were important because they came just, the first one, just before half-time when, you know, the game was still in the balance.
Yeah, I was very relieved. I mean, I just wanted, not myself, I just wanted the team to score a goal as quickly as possible, and when we scored, I mean, I just sunk to my knees. It didn't really click that I actually scored. Just a relief that we'd scored.
It's funny thing is I've been dreaming all week. I've been dreaming all week that we'd win about 4 or 5-0, but there was one thing wrong with my dream. I'd scored all 5 in my dream, but no, I think you've got to give credit to the boys. The boys who played last week were obviously hurt. The pride was hurt. We got them beaten 3-2 at home, where, you know, normally we've been solid as rock at home. But we've come out today, and I think, you know, to everybody's credit, I don't think we let them in the game. You know, they had spells, but apart from that, we were superb.
So, with their Wembley place secure, Wycombe could turn their minds onto that other little job in hand, securing their place in the Football League. A battling draw away to #1 challengers Slough was followed by the demolition of trophy final opponents Runcorn. That treasured place amongst football's elite was just about theirs. Wycombe could now concentrate all their energies on Wembley, and the build-up began early. There was to be another walk on that Abbey Road zebra crossing, made famous all those years ago by the Beatles, on the way to the studios for the making of that traditional pre-cup final record.
Wycombe are going to Wembley. Wycombe have already won the league. Wycombe are going to Wembley. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up. Here on the march with Martin's army. We're all going to Wembley. And we really shake 'em up when we win the trophy cup. 'Cause Wycombe are the greatest football team. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to see Wycombe win away. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to see Wycombe win away. We all follow the Wycombe over land and sea. We all follow the Wycombe on to victory. Glory, glory, Wycombe Wanderers. Glory, glory, Wycombe Wanderers. Glory, glory, Wycombe Wanderers. And the Blues go marching up, up, up. And the Blues go marching on.
Then on the Friday, the pre-match visit to Wembley, and a first opportunity to sample that special dressing room atmosphere.
Some of the lads have been here before. They'll know how they felt at certain times of the Kidderminster game, and they might be able to adapt a wee bit better. Having said that, it is Wembley, it's a special occasion, and I've got to say to you, no matter how many times you come here, you get a special buzz about it, and you'll just feel every bit as tired as you would do if you'd been here 15, 20 times. It's nice, the supporters are going to have a nice time. Not a day out for me, I want to win the game, and I would think that we have got the players to win the match, they have to perform. At the end of it all, they have to perform to win it. Otherwise, Runcorn will do us.
To play here is everyone's dream, and for it to come true this year, especially it's going up in the third division now, is, as you say, a dream come true.
Looking back on the trophy run, what in particular is highlighted from the games that you played in?
I would say the highlight was scraping through away to Morecambe, and Martin saying in the changing room, or when we come off the ground, he said, the luck we've had today would take us to Wembley. And I think, you know, them words have come true.
Yeah. Well, Jason Cousins, when you joined Wycombe Wanderers for Brentford, did you think it might be a regret in some way?
No, not really. A few people said that it was a step going backwards, but I looked at it as though one step back, two step forwards really, and it's turned out to be that way.
Did you think in the short space of 2 seasons with the club you'd be appearing here at Wembley in a final?
It's unbelievable what's happened in the last 2 seasons, Al. To win the league and get an appearance here is just unbelievable.
Well, Steve Thompson, the vital question is, will you or won't you be appearing here in the FA Trophy final on Sunday?
Well, Alan, I very much hope that I will be. We had a little training session yesterday, 15 minutes, and it went perfectly okay. There was no problems. We're having another little session today, and I hope to get through that the same, so I'm very hopeful. Whereas 10 days ago, I certainly wasn't hopeful then. So yeah, I'm hopeful now, and just hope that Martin selects me.
That will be a real crowning for the season that you've had. I mean, if you tell us about what you've achieved this season.
Well, yeah, it all seems to have happened in one season. Firstly, there was the great FA Cup run that we had, which gave me a lot of publicity in that, and when we played West Brom. Then, of course, there was the England selection, which really pleased me. It's something that you strive for throughout your non-league career, and winning the league and getting to the trophy final. I mean, I think I've said to everyone, you couldn't wish to better it. It's been a great season. I hope it ends on a memorable note on Sunday.
Of course, you could pick up a posse of medals here, couldn't you, with Barnet winning, likely to do something with the third division championship?
That's right, third division, one here. Capital League, we forgot about the Capital League. Heart Senior Cup, there's a few now. And mine's going to be sit on this one at the moment. This is the most important thing, probably, of my career at the present stage, probably for Jeff as well. So.
When we came to Wycombe, obviously we came together, and we've totally, to be fair, we've totally blanked out Barnet, and we've just concentrated everything on getting Wycombe promotion. We played, hopefully we played a small part, but we've helped out in that, and we've helped out in getting to the trophy, and we've just totally channeled ourselves to the Wycombe cause, and we appreciate what Martin's done for us bringing us here, so we want to give something back to him for doing that.
"24 hours to go, and Martin's men are tucked away at their luxury headquarters in the Hertfordshire countryside. Tranquil surroundings and an ideal spot for the players to relax. But with 18 players in the squad, several uncertain or not if they'd make the final lineup, it was a nerve-jangling time for some.
The lads know about 2 o'clock. I'll not break the tradition from last year, or from previous 2 years' final, that we told the lads before they climbed on the coach, as you could see from some of the faces. But and we'll do exactly the same again. I'll tell the lads, I'll announce it tomorrow morning. And no, I haven't made up my mind. I've got to say I have a fair idea at this minute. Obviously with Stapleton and Stevie Thompson looking as if they might declare themselves fit, then I've got more problems than I would care to imagine.
I think a lot of the lads are more nervous about the team selection than the game itself. We'd all like to know what the team is, but as the way Martin does it, he don't select it till the last minute.
I needed 10 games to get a championship medal, and so I played a couple of games I thought I played at the end of the season when I didn't expect to, but I think possibly getting the 10 games in he might have been helping me out there. The Wembley game, I keep thinking about the Sutton, the semi-final, and how superb the lads did there, the second leg. Yeah, the selection, I just don't know what to think. At the end of the day, I'm in a no-lose situation, because to be left out of if I'm left out of the team, it's possibly a team with arguably the best non-league footballers in the country. So that's a credit to me.
I'm having a fitness test, and if all goes well,
I'll be up for selection. And that means by no way that I'll be playing, because there's about 20 odd players in there that will be right up for selection, so hopefully I'll be among them.
One man you'll definitely be without tomorrow, your club captain and probably the greatest influence on your team, Glyn Creaser. How badly have you missed him, and will you miss him?
Well, I think I've said to you umpteen times, John, that we've missed him more than we would care to imagine. We lost him in January, just after we had played Cheltenham in the first round of the trophy, and to find out that he had done this injury at work was particularly bad, because I always think that players should get injured on the field. But all told, it's been a monstrous loss for us. I think that we would have won the championship about certainly six weeks before we did do it, and the fact that we won it after 37 games, I can't pay him any higher compliment than that. But he's been with us, and ever since he's been able to walk again, he's come down to the football ground. His influence is, while it's not totally and utterly active, I mean, there's more than a passive interest, and he's with us here now at the minute. He's missing it, really. I know that. Even he's putting on the old brave face. He's been out a couple of months, so he has come to accept it, but he's been a big loss to us.
I don't feel bad about it by any stretch of the imagination. I said before that I was going to come, if I was up and about, I was going to come and enjoy the occasion, because that's what it is for everybody. It's a massive occasion, and I just want everybody to enjoy it. I really do. Martin's always said about the players that are not playing. I don't include myself in that. I mean the people that are fit and you know, they're available. But I think, you know, we've just got to keep our heads up and you know, get the lads that are playing and everybody else around just to give them a lift, give them as much help as we can, and hopefully we go out there and do the business.
Well, spirits were certainly high, and the players did their best to relax before hopefully going on to do the business. But there was one niggling side issue: the newspaper talk linking Martin O'Neill with Nottingham Forest following the sensational departure of Brian Clough.
As I talk to you at this minute, I haven't got another thought in my brain about it. And as I say, as it is, complete speculation, I'd been a wee bit disappointed. I think I said to you tongue-in-cheek that they hadn't thought that I might be able to do that particular job. You know, I was being touted for the Norwich job a year ago, didn't get an interview, didn't apply, they didn't take me on, you know. So there you are. I'm quite sure the summer will pass the same way.
Whatever the speculation, you're going to enjoy tomorrow.
I'm hoping to, John. I never, you know this here, it's going to be a great day out for everybody. I don't enjoy it, not at all. I'll enjoy if we win it. I'll be very, very happy if we win 1-0. It'll do me fine.
Cup final morning, and not too many butterflies apparent amongst the coaching staff or the players. But manager O'Neill still had to reveal his hand. When he did, it was to be sadness for Dennis Green, for local hero Mark West, and for Anton Vixhouse. By now, Simon Stapleton had already ruled himself out, failing his late fitness test. It meant starting places for Simon Hutchinson, Jeff Cooper and Steve Thompson. A delighted Hakan Hayrettin would be on the bench alongside Kim Casey. And so, decisions made and announced, it was all aboard and Wembley bound. 2 years ago, Simon Hutchinson had made the briefest appearance as substitute in the final. This time, he was in the starting lineup, and he could hardly believe it.
Fantastic. I mean, before, we knew there's 3 or 4 places up for grabs. There's certain people who, you know, were definite in the team. But, as I say, there's 3 or 4 places, and I'm just glad I've got one of them. Brilliant.
Is it likely, though, the performance we saw you put on against Runcorn in the league game a couple of weeks ago may have clinched it?
Could have swayed it, yeah. I enjoyed that game, and I think I did quite well, so hopefully that bears all well for today.
Well, Jeff, I know you've been sweating on whether you were going to get in the side, but you've made it.
Yeah, chuffed a bit, really pleased. I'm disappointed for the lads who aren't playing, obviously, but you've got to think of yourself now and just go out and play the game. Looking forward to it.
And you did tell me something about a special trip your father's going to make for the game today.
Yeah, when we beat Sutton, my mum rang him and said that we're going to Wembley with Wycombe. And he cut short his stay out in the Middle East by 4 weeks. He's come home 4 weeks early, especially to watch the game, and he'll be there this afternoon. But I haven't been able to ring him up and tell him that I'm playing yet, so it'll be a nice surprise for him to see me walk out there, I think.
Among the disappointed ones not playing, Dennis Green.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed, but that's the way it goes. There's a lot of disappointed people today.
but I'm sure they'll get behind everyone and enjoy the day.
And how do you think some of the other teammates are feeling about today?
What, the disappointed ones or the happy ones?
Both.
I'm sure they'll all be much the same as me. I mean, it'll take a little while to sink in that you're not exactly playing, but after that, once we get there, we'll all enjoy it.
And club skipper Glyn Creaser and coach Paul Franklin were determined that everyone would enjoy it. In Wycombe, meanwhile, it was becoming a blue and blue away day. It was hard to believe there was another team playing. Such was the enormous Wembley following for the Wanderers. But Runcorn did have a little support. Inside Wembley, the players were getting a feel of the pitch, and for some it was a new and perhaps unexpected experience.
I'm very happy today. I think it's the icing on the cake. Where was my season going? I was playing at Barnet Reserves. Martin's given me a chance, and hopefully I can pay him back if I get on today.
When he read out the midfield, I had definite doubts, but luckily I've got a place up front. I'm grateful for that. I'm going to give it my everything, like I always do, and you never know, nick a goal.
Was it a long wait before the 13th name came out?
Yeah, that's the longest I've ever waited for a team selection. I'm very pleased to be in the 13 because there's a squad of about 22 players, and obviously just pleased to be in the 13.
Your form came just at the right time, didn't it?
Yeah, I was pleased, yeah. The last month or so I've been playing reasonably well. Winning the Player of the Month for March done me no harm at all. And just, it's been good, you know.
The amazing thing about your form too is that you've played in 5 different positions in about as many games.
That's right, yeah. I really didn't know where I'd start today, but I'm quite pleased I'm in midfield because I feel strong. You know, I think I'll be able to do the running, so hopefully it'll go well for us.
And finally, a word from the manager.
We've got a massive game here today, a massive game, and I just hope the boys are fired up. I mean, if they can't get fired up for Wembley, they can't get fired up anywhere else. I'm sure that they will go out and enjoy the day and hopefully win me the trophy. Hopefully win me the trophy. It's monumental that they do.
Just time for the final photo session, and then the last word from the real man in charge.
This is a different game to any other sort of Vauxhall Conference match, John. It's a lovely pitch and it's nice and wide, it's in great condition. I'm hoping that the lads are in the same sort of shape. We've picked a side here to try and win the game. We'll be going at them. We know no other way at the end of it all. And I'm hoping that at the end of the 90 minutes that we're good enough to win it. It will not be easy.
Good afternoon. This is the Wembley welcome for the 1993 FA Trophy finalists, Runcorn and Wycombe Wanderers. It's every player's dream to play at this famous old stadium. Andy Kerr, introduced to Sir Bert Millichip. And down the line, there's Hakan Hayvetten. who made his FA Trophy debut in the semi-final, Simon Hutchinson. Played here before, of course. Kim Casey, who was here in 1987 with Kidderminster Harriers. Steve Thompson and Keith Scott. Jason Cousins, who's been filling in as captain over the last few weeks. Keith Ryan, another of the survivors from the 1991 team. Steve Guppy, who scored a magical goal against Runcorn not more than a month ago. Matt Crossley down there as well. Paul Hyde, who's done so well. Only missed a handful of conference games since he came to the club. And Martin O'Neill, of course. And we can take a check on the two team lineups. We'll start with the favourites, Wycombe Wanderers. And Martin O'Neill names 6 survivors from the side that faced Kidderminster 2 years ago. Andy Kerr, Dave Carroll, Keith Ryan, Simon Hutchinson, Keith Scott and Steve Guppy have all been here before with Wycombe Wanderers. And on the subs bench, Kim Casey came here back in 1987 with Kidderminster Harriers. A check now on the Runcorn side, and it shows one change from the team that lost against Bath a week ago. Gary Anderson was in fact sent off in that game, and John Carroll, the Runcorn manager, was banished from the touchline. Ken McKenna, who lines up at number 10, was booed heartily by the Wycombe fans. He scored against Wycombe in the league encounter a month ago, and he was sent off playing for Altrincham in an FA Trophy semi-final back in 1991 against Wycombe. The referee today, Jim Borrett from Norfolk, and it's going to be Runcorn who'll get us underway. Ken McKenna's up there, Steve Shaughnessy and Gary Anderson. Runcorn today in a special cup final strip. Wycombe, of course, in their traditional light and dark blue quarters. Ticker tape giving Wembley the appearance of a South American ground. Crossley up towards Scott, and it's a free kick to Wycombe. Scott clearly felt he was held, and the referee agreed. Dave Carroll, Steve Guppy's there, Jeff Cooper, Jason Cousins is there as well. Steve Thompson is in the wall for Wycombe. It's a sizable Runcorn wall which Arthur Williams is trying to line up. Cousins, he's done it! Jason Cousins has scored in the first minute of the FA Trophy final. What a superb start for Wycombe. It's Jason Cousins' first goal of the season, and what a time to score it. Wycombe 1, Runcorn 0. Extraordinary. Williams. Down Brady. Thompson. And Thompson goes over. That'll surely be a free kick to Wycombe. And could be a booking as well. Jim Borrett anxious to make sure that the excesses don't get out of hand. was Graham Hill in the end. Had a few injury problems himself this season. Carroll. Andy Kerr! 2-0! And the man whose goal against Cheltenham started this trophy run off has scored at Wembley, and now Wycombe have taken what could be a very significant advantage indeed. Andy Kerr getting in where it mattered. 21 when it's gone. It's Wycombe 2, Runcorn 0. What a start. Now Guppy. He set Carroll away. Scott's in the middle. Thompson. Another corner to Wycombe. And so with 35 minutes gone, Wycombe trying to turn the screw here. David Carroll. Scored in the semi-final both in 91 and this year. Kerr's header. Great save by Williams. Well, just for a moment, Andy Kerr thought he was going to get his name on the score sheet twice here and join a very select band. It wasn't to be. McKenna. Nice little bit of skill. Now there's a bit of danger for Wycombe. This is Bates. And Paul Hyde, as ever, equal to the task in hands. Just pointing out that that was a little bit of danger. McKenna. Bates again. Shaughnessy. Not a bad try from Steve Shaughnessy. Well, he says he's resident of the footballing capital of England. Steve Shaughnessy lives in Manchester. On by Anderson. Brady's ball. Shot comes in. And Runcorn are back in the game. Superbly finished by Steve Shaughnessy. With 5 minutes to go to half-time. And at last the fans from Cheshire have something to shout about. It really was a superb finish. Already the makings of a memorable game. Kerr's in there. Scott off the bar! And it possibly wouldn't have counted anywhere. There was a little bit of argy-bargy in that Runcorn area. But Keith Scott, the hero of 91, hitting the bar. A pretty open game, this. Now Runcorn coming forward again. Shaughnessy might get through, but that time Paul Hyde was equal to the challenge. Shaughnessy had lost a shoe. Cooper away. And that is half-time. Wycombe could scarcely have had a better start. Jason Cousins giving them the lead. In the first couple of minutes, the second goal by Andy Kerr. Steve Shaughnessy pegging one back for Runcorn before half-time, which means the half-time whistle blows here at Wembley with the score Runcorn 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2. So Wycombe will get us underway at the start of the second half. They lead by 2-1. And Wycombe defending the tunnel end in this second period. This game not over yet. Hutchinson goes over, and he was caught just outside the area. It's a free kick to Wycombe. Well, Wycombe scored, of course, from a dead ball situation right at the start of this game. Carroll, Guppy. And the crowd seemed to think that had come off a hand. Martin O'Neill in shirt sleeve order now, watching proceedings. McKenna. And eventually the shot from Gary Brabin went wide. Well, if Runcorn were to get back into this game, there's no telling what Gary Brabin would do. Been some pretty spectacular celebrations from both sides so far. And it's still Runcorn 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Carroll. Cousins. And now a little bit more trouble. It's Brabin being called over. Anderson. McKenna. Danger here for Wycombe. Still McKenna! Great save by Hyde. With Shaughnessy lurking, it was so important that Paul Hyde made that his. It was a great turn by Ken McKenna, but the Wycombe goalkeeper wasn't found wanting. So Guppy with the corner. Coming up to the hour mark, and Wycombe still leading by 2-1. It's there! And Steve Thompson has made it 3. And the man who scored that spectacular goal against West Bromwich Albion in the national spotlight of the FA Cup has now scored on the biggest stage of them all. It's Runcorn 1, Wycombe Wanderers 3. Well, the 2-goal margin again restored. And now we wonder if it is indeed to be Wycombe's day. Now, Thompson. He squared it for Scott. How did that one stay out? It was a superb save by Williams. Lovely running once more by Steve Thompson to set up Keith Scott. But Wycombe's leading scorer has been unable to find a way through. In the meantime, Wycombe are now looking to bring on a substitute. Simon Hutchinson coming off, and Hakan Hayrettin comes on. Played his first FA Trophy game for Wycombe in the semi-final against Sutton United, and now he's got a taste of Wembley. Now Scott. Guppy. Carroll. Ryan. Just over. In the meantime, Ian Brady comes off and Neil Parker comes on. Well, it's quite a transformation for Neil Parker. He was playing Sunday League football up in Liverpool for Waterloo Dock a year ago, and now he's at the most famous ground in the world, and he's got an early touch of the ball too. Shaughnessy. Bates, that's not a bad cross either, and Hyde did superbly to claim it. McKenna. Parker. And Shaughnessy was in there. Guppy. Oh, this is a great run by Steve Guppy. It's a magnificent run by Guppy. Oh, that deserved a goal, surely. Well, Guppy had produced a run like that when Wycombe played against Runcorn in the league a month ago. And at Adams Park it led to a goal. Now though, Shaughnessy. And McKenna! Off the post. McKenna thought he'd scored there for a moment to set up a real grandstand finish. And it came back off the post. And Wycombe can breathe again. Carroll again for Scott. Now Keith Scott. He's got Thompson arriving in the middle. Oh! It would have been the perfect finale. Scott picked out Steve Thompson, who just couldn't finish. The tiredness getting the better of him, perhaps. McKenna. Scott. Thompson. Cousins. Lovely football by Wycombe. Carroll. It's there! And David Carroll has made it 4-1. And the man who missed out on an England cap early this year surely has the best possible consolation, a goal at Wembley. Poor Arthur Williams in the Runcorn goal. It was a fearful mistake, but who would deny David Carroll a crowning moment here at Wembley? The whistles still come in. Thompson. Dave Carroll. Every pass now executed with supreme confidence, and why not? That's it! And Wycombe Wanderers have done it. Listen now to the reception for the 1993 FA Trophy winners, Wycombe Wanderers. Steve Guppy, the first to claim the silly hat. Paul Hyde over there too. Jeff Cooper. Great scenes these. Martin O'Neill now comes down once more to all corners of the ground to take his bow. And that's lovely to see. Sportsmanship at the highest level there. It must be difficult to take. Gary Anderson leading his side up. A winner in 1986 with Altrincham against Runcorn. This time he has to settle for second best. Glyn Creaser leads Wycombe up to collect the FA Trophy. How appropriate it should be. The popular Wycombe skipper, who but for an accident would surely have been playing today. It's a famous old trophy made of antique silver. So Bert Millichip hands it over to Glyn Creaser, and the FA Trophy belongs to Wycombe Wanderers. Paul Hyde hands it on to Jason Cousins, and Andy Kerr, captain for the day, now relishes the chance. A hug for Jason Cousins from Mr. Ivor Beeks, the Wycombe chairman. Keith Scott, Keith Ryan. The tradition is that they're passing the trophy back now, and why not Jeff Cooper and Steve Guppy. Hakin Hyrettin. Well, difficult to conceal the emotions there. Simon Hutchinson, Steve Thompson and Davy Carroll. And there's Kim Casey and Martin O'Neill, who's been up these steps so many times as a player, now holds the FA Trophy as a manager. Who knows what the future will bring for him. He receives a memento. It's not a medal, it's a special FA Trophy winners plaque, inaugurated for the first time for the managers this year, and there surely is an appropriate picture if ever there was one.
We dream the same dream, we want the same thing. Oh.
Well, we've got the scorers of the first 2 goals. Jason Cousins, 2 minutes, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, I was working on them all day in training yesterday, never hit the target once, and Dave Cowell tried to take it off me just before I went up to take it. There's no way I weren't going to take it, and I've just gone up when it went in. It's the first one I've scored like all season, and it's a great time for it. It's unbelievable.
Absolute dream start.
Yeah, it was, yeah. We started quite well, and obviously the goals helped us. And then Andy scored about another 10 minutes later, and we got a little bit lazy after that, but we thoroughly deserved it in the end, I thought.
Well, after yours, Andy Kerr, you got the vital second goal. What about that one?
Well, Guts and Dave been swinging good balls in all season, so I just had to get on the end of it, really. Get my big head on the end of it, and it went in. What more can you say?
Totally brilliant. From the support, the game, I mean, everything's gone right, hasn't it? You hope it will, you know, in the build-up, you hope everything's going to go right. But I mean, most players have little nagging doubts, but, I mean, it's come true, everything's come true. We've won the league, we've won the cup. I can retire now.
We did say in the interview before the kick-off that it would make your afternoon if you were to score, and the ball's played into the box and the smallest man in there gets his head on it.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball. He's been playing them all year, Gups, superb ball. And I saw it come up, just get a flick, and I was surprised no one got in front of me or anything, and I was absolutely delighted to score. A memorable moment for me. I'll be watching the video a few times, I think. Cheers.
It's like Jason said, we got a bit lazy because we went 2 up. I mean, most teams do, and it was just a matter of sticking to it. I mean, they scored a goal just before half-time. It made it difficult for us, but it was important for us to get the next goal, and we did. So it made it easier for us after that.
What did Martin say to you at half-time, having just conceded that goal?
Yeah, he made sure we weren't too complacent coming back out for the second half. He wasn't very happy. It was a bad time for us to concede. But if he says something, you do it. And we was a bit tighter in the second half, although, like you said, they could have still scored a couple, really.
I'd just like to say that we had 3 skippers, and I think it just goes to show the team effort, because, I mean, Glyn's been out, Jason's come in, he's been a brilliant skipper, and I've had a skipper for a while, and it just goes to show, doesn't it? It doesn't take 1 player to win a match, does it? It takes 3.
Well, David Carroll, you were saying last week that you weren't too sure about your form, you're hoping you could really improve your display, but you played well enough today.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I was in the middle. I haven't been playing very well. I mean, I don't think the middle of midfield is my position, you know, and I always feel more comfortable out wide. And when he's down the side playing in the middle, I think, oh no, here we go again, sort of thing. But no, I've quite enjoyed it really. The game, you know, the whole game on a whole.
And the 4th goal and the goal that you scored really came right out of the blue after you'd been pushed wide right.
That's right. You know, the left back is quite a quick fellow, so no, there's no way I'm going to do it for pace. But I just got it. I just wanted to take it wide, and well, really crossed it. Really, I haven't really had a shot. And as we were saying a minute ago, I think the keeper was in a rush. He wanted to grab it and kick it, and he's got to catch it, and it's crossed the line. So I'm unbelievably happy.
Final word from both of you about the crowd.
Unbelievable. I've never experienced anything like it. I don't think I will experience anything like that again. Lifetime.
Just like Man City or Chelsea being here, it was, you know, it's just fantastic. The noise was unbelievable, absolutely superb, and I'd like to thank every one of them for turning up. It made it a great day for everyone, I think.
Make it a great day for us.
3 against 2 in midfield, and me and David, no problem. Well done, lads. Fantastic.
Hey, here's a bottle of champagne, then. Hey, where's the champagne? So what, I've got any glasses number 2. Here's a bottle of champagne.
This smile, I've been wearing this for some time now, and oh, it's a tremendous day. You know, for us to play 62 games, we've had 6 days rest since the last one, and then to go out there and play like that today, we were marvellous, weren't we? We were quite magnificent, I thought.
I don't think you could have written the script to finish like we've done. I mean, the players are obviously elated, but to win the league and win the trophies, it's a fantastic achievement, fantastic achievement.
You've had a marvellous career with Wycombe Wanderers, and I mean, this really must peak everything.
No, nothing else has come anywhere near to it. I mean, it was great. We had a great season last year, and it was nice coming here when we won the trophy, but to do the double is something really special, really special.
What a way to end the season, yeah?
But it was 3-1. McKenna hit the post. You clawed it out. What a save, because that could have meant a very vital last 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a free header. Bad picking up, really, but he's had a free header. Really should have done better, especially sort of for a man of his stature in the game. It's hit the face of the post, it's come up, it's spinning backwards into the net. I think it was 50-50 whether it had gone over the line. And as I said, it was just reaction, sort of hook it out and hope the linesman and referee give it my way. They did, and we won 4-1.
tried to take it off me just before it. There was no way I was going to do it. And I just ran up and luckily it was the first one I
I'd love to have scored, because 30 is better than 29, but it wasn't to be, and what the hell, roll on next season.
What about those scenes at the end with the Wycombe crowd?
Well, to be fair, John, they've been brilliant all season, haven't they? You know, we've averaged 4,500. I think there's maybe what 30,000 here today. And how can you not win for people like that? You can't win for people. You've got to win for people like that. And we did it as much. It was as much their day as it was ours. We just had to go on there and win it, and they just pulled us through. And they've done it so much this season. I've got so much admiration for them, as of all the players, and it's an absolutely great day.
Give that cup a kiss. It's yours for a year.
It's ours for a year.
What a step! What a step! Scotty! Luani!
Well, Monty Seymour, supporter, president, everything in this club for the last, what, 60 years?
70 years.
70 years.
Yeah, what an honour.
What a day.
What a day, eh? Yeah, the next goal, FA. We're making a new cabinet. Urquhart's are doing one for us, big enough to take the FA Cup.
You've seen everything really at Wycombe. How does this day rate?
Even to the today. Oh, it's the finest thing ever. To go out, go from non-league up into the 3rd division. Couldn't have been a better take-off.
We've got a good team behind the scenes there. We've got 3 girls there, Kathy, Diane and Sue, hard-working girls, and they're the backup staff. They work for the team. They're nearly as good a team behind the scenes as those out there.
So they'll be having a few champagnes tonight as well?
I hope so, and I shall be having some with them. They deserve it.
Well, the champagne was already flowing inside the dressing room. Upstairs, it was celebration time too for the VIPs.
Wasn't that a terrific day for High Wycombe? Terrific match, thrilling to the end, but as I said to the Mayor of Runcorn, the best team is going to win today, and they jolly well did. So that's great for the town, great for the club, great for the people of High Wycombe, great for all of us.
It's been a kick-off to my year as Mayor. I go in 2 weeks' time, and this has been an absolute icing on the cake for that.
Super afternoon. And it really is a dream after all these years to have got into the 3rd division. You know, I've been involved with the club for 30-odd years now, and I think this is one of the proudest seasons. Indeed, it is the proudest season that I remember. And I thought today, it was a tremendous finale to the end of the season, and I think Martin has really done us proud this last 2 or 3 years. And indeed, all the directors have worked terribly hard, and Ivor's been a super chairman. And it's great. It's great to be here on this, what is a bit of history.
Well, here we have the 3 Musketeers from Verco, club sponsors. Not a bad year to sponsor the club, really.
Well, I don't think it could be better, really. We've done just about everything the club could have done, and the support that we've had throughout the season and culminating in today's is really tremendous, and I think it's wonderful for the town.
Alan, when we talked 2 years ago, you'd lost your voice. What kind of noise is emanating this time?
The voice has gone, the throat has gone. Tremendous. It was a superb day, real superb day. Couldn't ask for more.
It was really a day for the Wycombe fans, wasn't it? Because those celebrations at the end were really something.
Thoroughly enjoyable. I think everyone, certainly from our company that was here, thoroughly enjoyed the day, and it was very good for the town.
Well, of course, it is a town thing, isn't it, Roger, really?
Yeah. I think that's the important thing. There's nothing like a game of football to bring everyone together. Wycombe normally get, what, 4,500, 5,000 perhaps, and today there were nearly 30,000. So everyone brought their friends and their relatives, and it's a really great day out, and that's really, for me, what makes it.
And of course, you've just signed a new sponsorship deal with a new Football League club.
Yes, that's right, a whole new ball game next season, so we await it with anticipation.
Eventually, it was homeward bound, with the cup safely on board and the great non-league double safely accomplished.
Party going on behind, and deservedly so.
Oh, John, I'm ecstatic, really. You always have, in the occasional pessimistic moment, you think, well, what would the trip like be going back if things didn't work out? We didn't win the game. I remember 2 years ago climbing off the, or just climbing onto the coach when we had won. I looked across and Kidderminster's bus was parked in exactly the same spot, and there were real downcast faces. And I thought, well, it doesn't matter whether we had won the conference or not. I just didn't want that to happen today, and it's nice. I mean, we won what seems to be quite convincingly, but it was never like that. You know, it was a hard-fought game, and I thought we've done exceptionally well, so I'm delighted.
Fans were already back at Adams Park to greet the players and the cup as the night's celebrations began.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Wycombe Wanderers celebration dinner. As you'll all be aware, it's been a pretty awful day and a dreadful season. But we're going to try and make the most of it anyway tonight. And we've got 1 or 2 trinkets we'd like to bring in. Only the FA Trophy and the GM Vauxhall Conference Championship Shield. We tried our best, but that's all we could come up with. And we've got 3 captains to bring them in. Glenn Creaser, Andy Kerr and Jason Cousins. Would you stand and applaud them in, please?
It had been a long day at the end of a long season, but at last the players and their families could relax. And the silverware, now proudly on display, made it all worthwhile. The weekend celebrations were far from over, though. 24 hours later, the players and their trophies were on parade again, almost as many turning out in the streets of Wycombe as had greeted them at Wembley.
I don't think we have to say anything here today. That without you, and I've said this 2 years ago, but without you, we wouldn't have won anything. Well done. Brilliant.
I've usually been known that I've always got a few words to say, but I can honestly say today, ladies and gentlemen, children, you've left me absolutely speechless by this support.
There's a lot of speculation about the gaffer going to Nottingham Forest. And I personally don't want him to go because my contract's up anyway. But also, on a serious note, none of the players want him to go either. And in their wisdom, if the board are listening to this, and if they're not, they should be, I think if you were just, you know, just give the man what he wants, and I'm sure he'd stay, because he thinks you're brilliant.
Martin is still here. We will see what we can do to keep him. Thank you.
Little did these fans realise at the time that their support was to prove the decisive factor in Martin O'Neill turning down what was a lucrative offer to follow Brian Clough in the Nottingham Forest hot seat. A decision O'Neill revealed to stun the football world just 2 days later.
I think, in all honesty, there's Monday night scenes at the civic reception, and I know that all those people are not going to turn up for the first game of the season again. We had 30-odd thousand people at Wembley. I've got a good rapport with the crowd here at the minute. I know that only lasts 15 minutes into the first game of the season, and I accept that. I mean, I'm too long in the tooth not to know that. From the number of sackings that have happened just in recent weeks, you think, hey, wait a minute, this can happen to you. Quite sure it will do at one stage or another. I'll not get everything right. But the crowd had a big bearing on it, and I've got to say that the efforts of the board, especially the chairman and Mr. Parry, have persuaded me here that there is something here that maybe sometimes even I don't realise.
I still believe that that eventually, someday or other, that there will be a club, a very large club, waiting for Martin. That's at the moment in time.
So there is a job to do here, and thank goodness he's decided that he needs to finish it.
I've made a decision one way or another. I may live to regret, you never know. But at this minute, I don't. We've got a situation going here, and I suppose the fact that I have chosen to stay here at Wycombe Wanderers rather than go to Nottingham Forest is probably as a loony a decision as an Irishman is likely to make.
So happily, the loony Irishman can now make plans for life as a Football League manager with Wycombe Wanderers. Perhaps the adventure has only just begun, and there may be many, many more glory, glory days still to come.